This is DN Molo, and today, we'll be reacting to a random video today. That's right, it's one of those days. And today's random video that we'll be reacting to is Why Hermione Wasn't in Ravenclaw, Harry Potter Theory, by Harry Potter Theory. Honestly, interesting question. I know that. Let's see what he thinks the answer is and all that. I mean, personally, I think when it comes to the sitting hat, according to the books, the sitting hat did debate between Ravenclaw and Gryffindor for a bit, but ultimately chose Gryffindor and all that. Anyway, I feel like the Sorting Hat are not just short show based on, qualities of character, but also on, what qualities a person, values most and all that. Like, for example, Peter Pettigrew isn't brave, yet he was put into Gryffindor and all that. So, one could say that Peter Pettigrew wasn't very brave. He did value bravery above kindness, intelligence, and cunning and ambition. No, that it's not really cunning, just more ambition. Pettigrew probably got shut into Gryffindor because he part of him really wanted to be brave, but he was never able to, and ended up just being a coward, which ultimately led to his downfall. But yeah, enough about Peter Pettigrew. And we're talking about Hermione Granger. So let's start the video, and also remember to leave a like I already left a like. And if you want to watch some more videos of mine, remember to subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the bell so that way you get all the notifications and all that. So, oh, and one more thing. Leave a comment down below if you got any thoughts and all that.
Right now, only 15% of you are subscribed, but that number's growing. So if you...
Yep, same here. Well, it's less so. I mean, it's actually less than 15%, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, but basically, the majority of the people who watch the videos are people who aren't subscribed to the channel and all that. So, let's change that and subscribe.
content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hey guys,
Mm-hmm.
welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In this video, we're going to be discussing Hermione, the Sorting Hat, and the Hogwarts housing system. More specifically, we will be answering the question, why wasn't Hermione in Ravenclaw? As we know, there are 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. Each house has defining characteristics, and at the beginning of a student's journey at Hogwarts, they are assigned to one of these 4 houses based on how well the student's own character traits mesh with the principles of the house.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, this goes a bit slow, so I'm gonna turn it up a bit. The speed that is. If it ends up being too fast for you, then you can go to the settings and slow down my video a bit if me watching his speed of content is a bit too fast for you.
The assignee of the Hogwarts houses is the fabled Sorting Hat, a filthy, old, frayed, dirty hat that once belonged to Hogwarts founder Godric Gryffindor. The hat is extremely outspoken and is praised by professors and students alike for its uncanny ability to assign houses to Hogwarts students. The hat is a sentient being that originally belonged to Godric Gryffindor and was bewitched by all 4 founders:
Mm-hmm.
Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. Before the hat's existence,
Hmm. I forgot about the part where where it was bewitched by all of the founders. Now that I remembered everything for that, but I completely forgot that it was bewitched by all four of them. I see, it makes sense.
Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. Before the hat's existence, the founders would manually sort students into houses. However, after some time, they realized that the selection process would outlive them, so they created the hat to continue tradition. The founders of Hogwarts recognized that they each valued very different virtues which ended up leading to the defining attributes of each house. It was important to them that the houses they founded would continue to follow by the beliefs from which they were based. These virtues, or inherent characteristics, can be summed up in the Sorting Hat's own words. 1,000 years or more ago, when I was newly sown, there lived 4 wizards of renown, whose names are still well known. Old Gryffindor from Wildmoor, fair Ravenclaw from Glen, sweet Hufflepuff from Valley Broad, shrewd Slytherin from Fen. They shared a wish, a hope, a dream. They hatched a daring plan to educate young sorcerers. Thus Hogwarts School began. Now each of these 4 founders formed their own house, for each did value different virtues in the ones they had to teach.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Nothing. I'm gonna sing a little bit of this right here. I know that. Well, at least chant it rhythmically. Not that. Let's see how I do. You can skip ahead a couple of seconds if you want to avoid it. 1,000 years or more ago, when I was newly shown, there lived 4 wizards of renown, whose names are still well known. Bold Gryffindor from Wildmoor, fair Ravenclaw from Glen, sweet Hufflepuff from Valley Broad, shrewd Slytherin from Fen. They shared a wish, a hope, a dream. They hatched a daring plan to educate young sorcerers. That's how Hogwarts School began. Now, each of these 4 founders have owned their own house, for each did value different virtues in the ones they had to teach.
By Gryffindor, the bravest were, prized far beyond the rest. For Ravenclaw, the cleverest, would always be the best. For Hufflepuff, hard workers were, most worthy of admission, and power-hungry Slytherin loved those of great ambition. While still alive, they did divide their favourites from the throng, yet how to pick the worthy ones when they were dead and gone? 'Twas Gryffindor who found the way, he whipped me off his head. The founders put some brains in me, so I could choose instead. Now slip me snug about your ears, I've never yet been wrong. I'll have a look inside your mind and tell where you belong. About your ears, I've never yet been wrong. I'll have a look inside your mind and tell where you...
Mm-hmm. By Gryffindor, the bravest war prize far beyond the rest. For Ravenclaw, the cleverest, would always be the best. For Hufflepuff, hard workers were most worthy of admission, and power-hungry Slytherin loved those of great ambition. While still alive, they did divide the favourites from the throng, yet how to pick the worthy ones when they were dead and gone? 'Twas Gryffindor who found the way, he whipped me off his head. The founders put some brains in me, so I could choose instead. Now slip me snug about your ears, I've never yet been wrong. I'll have a look inside your mind and tell you where you belong.
You belong. The hat uses legilimency, the art of magically navigating through a person's mind to assess the student's traits. After placing the hat on your head, it will begin to analyze your mind and place you in a house based on how closely you resemble one of the 4 founders. If the hat senses great bravery, Gryffindor is a likely choice. If the hat senses great intelligence, Ravenclaw is a likely choice. If the hat senses that someone is a hard worker, Hufflepuff is a likely choice. And finally, if the hat senses that someone is hungry for power, then Slytherin is a likely choice. But one thing that I've always wondered is, if intelligence is a defining characteristic of Ravenclaw, then why wasn't our very own Hermione Granger in Ravenclaw House? In the years that she spent at Hogwarts, she was widely considered to be the brightest witch of her age. Time and time again, she displayed lateral thinking, quickly adjusting to her circumstance or environment, and overcoming all sorts of obstacles. Not only that, but she has an inquisitive and practical approaches to conventional methods of spell conjuring or potion making. She just exudes intelligence on so many levels. So, again, why Ravenclaw? When Hermione first placed the hat on her head in the Philosopher's Stone, it wasn't an easy decision for the hat, and took quite some time to decide. Funnily enough, Hermione is actually asked why she isn't in Ravenclaw in the Order of the Phoenix. The exchange is as follows.
Mm-hmm.
How come you're not in Ravenclaw? He, Terry Boot, demanded, staring at Hermione with something close to wonder. With brains like yours. Well, the sorting hat did seriously consider putting me in Ravenclaw during my sorting, said Hermione brightly, but it decided on Gryffindor in the end. Very rarely, every 50 years or so, to be exact, a hat stall will occur during the sorting hat ceremony. This is when the sorting hat needs additional time to come up with a decision. Usually it is considered a hat stall when the decision takes 5 minutes or longer. This usually occurs when a student has a personality that could be considered equally suitable for each of the Hogwarts houses. McGonagall faced a similar situation that could be considered equally
Minutes
suitable
late
for each of the
correction,
Hogwarts
Dave, you
houses.
notice? Multiple, not each. Mm-hmm.
Houses. McGonagall faced a similar situation to Hermione in her earlier years, and the hat deliberated for 5.5 minutes on whether she should be placed in Ravenclaw or Gryffindor, the same houses that it considered for Hermione. I think that this tells us that McGonagall and Hermione are very similar people. While Hermione did not quite reach Ravenclaw,
Yeah, there are definitely some similarities between the two, particularly in I believe in upholding the rules and all that.
hat stall mark, she was close at a time of 4 minutes. This tells us that her levels of bravery and intelligence are probably quite comparable. It's also worth noting that in the case of a hat stall, the hat may take the student's personal preference into consideration for its decision. In the
Mhm.
Philosopher's
Yeah, that is what AO said earlier before the video started.
Stone, on the Hogwarts Express, she shows a clear preference for Gryffindor over Ravenclaw. I've been asking around, and I hope I'm in Gryffindor. It sounds by far the best. I hear Dumbledore himself was one, but I suppose Ravenclaw wouldn't be too bad. As the hat was struggling to place Hermione, it's more than likely that it used her preference as one of the deciding factors. We know the defining character trait of Gryffindor to be bravery, something that is exhibited by the trio time and time again throughout the series. But is Hermione really braver than she is intelligent? She'd have to be pretty brave, and does she really value bravery over intelligence? While it may seem like Hermione values intelligence above all, an exchange between Harry and Hermione in the Philosopher's Stone reveals where Hermione's priorities really lie. I'm not as good as you, said Harry, very embarrassed as she let go of him. Me? Said Hermione. Books and cleverness? There are more important things. Friendship and bravery. And, oh Harry, be careful. If it was ever ambiguous, I think that this exchange definitively determines which values Hermione holds closest. This line, by itself, shows that she values the traits of Gryffindor, courage and bravery, in a higher regard than the traits of Ravenclaw, intelligence and knowledge. And she
Mhm. Yeah, you do kind of notice that in some of the later books as well. Like, for example, in the fourth books, when she decides to be a bit of an activist and all that, and starts SPEW or spew, the little organization to fight for the rights of house elves and all that. And basically, trying, yeah.
value these traits. She exhibits them time and time again throughout the Harry Potter series. Her courageousness and strength truly shine through in a number of situations she's been in and decisions she's made. These situations include, but are not limited to, putting herself in harm's way and saving Ron from the Devil's Snare in the Philosopher's Stone, stepping in front of a then unknown Sirius Black in the Shrieking Shack under the impression that he was there to kill Harry, accompanying Harry to the Department of Mysteries despite strongly opposing the idea, staying with Harry even though she loved Ron when the trio disbanded in the Deathly Hallows on their hunt for Horcruxes, and most notably when she had to erase herself from her own parents' memories, a task that would require all of the courage in the world. Now, it has been speculated that the hat has a tendency to place students in houses based on the qualities they value, and not necessarily the qualities that they actively personify. Additionally, the hat can detect nascent qualities in a student, and generally places them in the house that will challenge them the most, putting their character to the test. A good example of this is Neville Longbottom. I think that
Mm-hmm.
Hermione is an equally good example of this, as when she started at Hogwarts, she was actively exhibiting the behavior of a stereotypical know-it-all. Based on this alone, one would assume the hat would choose Ravenclaw, but it detected that deep down, Hermione's inherent characteristics more closely meshed with Gryffindor. It knew to place her in studious and intelligent, it made more sense that she would be placed in Gryffindor, as she would have a lot more opportunity for personal development. Gryffindor had a lot more to offer her. One thing that's for sure, the hat insists that it has never made a mistake, and always backs its original decision, regardless of whether or not the student acts in accordance with the values of the house. In Hermione's case, I think that its decision to place her in Gryffindor was the best decision that it could have made. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the videos. Which house do you feel Hermione truly belongs in? Was the Sorting Hat right after all? Until next time, you're a wizard, Harry!
Mm-hmm. That was a neat video. Hmm. Ah, yeah. Even though Hermione is very clever, she is too close-minded and judgmental to be in Ravenclaw. She judged Luna and Fleur before knowing them, and she judged divination before seeing if she would be interested in learning about it. And she was also too headstrong with the spew, and even though it was for a good cause, she didn't, and sometimes outright refused, to care about what anybody else thought about it, and was sometimes rude to anyone who didn't 100% support her protest. A true Ravenclaw is willing to try new things and be open to different opinions and viewpoints without harboring judgment at the start. They seek knowledge before all else. Uh, 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 of course, they wouldn't be forming an opinion about something or someone before trying it out first. She's brave, a bit of a show-off, and is willing to disobey rules if it helps herself and her friends and her family, and is willing to die for the greater good, like a Gryffindor. I think the Sorting Hat showed it all correctly. Mm-hmm. And people have to understand that Ravenclaw isn't just the smart house. Being Ravenclaw is also about creativity and acceptance. Hermione is smart, that is a fact, but she is so stubborn with the house elves and divination, and I don't think she would be a good Ravenclaw. Stubbornness and bravery are more fitting for Gryffindor, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, how good students fix a light bulb. Three Hufflepuffs carrying a ladder, one Slytherin breaking the light bulb, one Gryffindor changing the light bulb, one Ravenclaw pointing out that they could have used magic. One is that the Sorting Hat not only uses the traits a child already has, but also who they wish to be. For example, never wasn't brave in the beginning, but he wanted to be. Anyway, the Slytherin Gryffindor, Ron the Hufflepuff Gryffindor, Hermione the Ravenclaw Gryffindor. And I just want to say I made this post 2 years ago, and I have never stopped being entertained by the comments. I consider Ron only a Gryffindor though. Yeah, and most certainly not on Hufflepuff or in Ravenclaw. And yeah. But then it's what one values and not what one has that the cat takes into account. Okay, I would agree with the others. Nerva is by far the or Hufflepuff Gryffindor. Ron is just a basic Gryffindor, who, by the way, I think may also be a Slytherin Gryffindor like Harry, because he exhibits pride and glory, bordering ambitious, but At the end of the day, he is there for his friends. And another Weasley. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is the definition of a machine? Money. Mach- a machine is a mechanical structure that uses power to apply forces and control a movement to perform an intended action. And they can also include computers and sensors that monitor performance and plan a movement, often called mechanical systems. RAVENCLAW, basically what makes your work easier. As our choices say, to show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Okay, let's see. Source. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna reply source. Source. When I first began reading the Harry Potter books, one of my first questions was why isn't Hermione Ravenclaw? But as I got through the books, I noticed she struggled thinking outside the box. She was amazingly intelligent, but too close, less narrow-minded. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. He's clearly depicted in the Half-Blood Prince. When Harry offers Hermione a copy of the Persian book with the Half-Blood Prince's editions in it, Hermione turns her nose up at it and insists on doing things the right way. A true born Ravenclaw would not have such an attitude towards the editions in a Persian's book. Rather, they would insist on reading through it and determining how the prince managed to conjure up these superior methods and why they work. Also, because of Ravenclaw's desire for excellence, they probably wouldn't pass up the opportunity to access resources that would help them top the class. People forget that the reason Neville almost was a Headstar was because he was arguing with the Starting Hat to be placed in Hufflepuff when the Hat wanted to place him in Gryffindor. That is such a Gryffindor thing to do. Like, how the heck could people not see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, hence why Hermione wasn't a Ravenclaw. She values knowledge more than imagination. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I prefer running the book to running the films. Other that's. I mean, I'm not because not dissing the actor and all that. Rupert Grint is definitely one of the actors in those films, especially the earlier films and all that. Like in the first few films. Rupert Grint was definitely better actor than Daniel Radcliffe or Emma Watson and all that, especially when it comes to his facial expressions and all that. Although the writing for Ron is definitely much better in the book and all that. Yeah, I don't like the changes they did to Ron's character for the films. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, yeah, not a single one of these comments have been mentioning what I said earlier about Peter Pettigrew. Mm. Well, I gotta say, while going through, I've noticed a couple of these videos from this YouTube Brett's thoughts. They look interesting. Hmm. I'll put them in the watch later for now. I might, add them to the random videos playlist instead, and my reaction video there. But yeah, than that, I think yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Well, just without further ado, uh, um, I guess that's it for the video. Just have a good day and goodbye. Hmm.